physics, today's specific topic would be solids, and in solids, we want to study concept called as elasticity. Okay. So very, very important property of a solid, elasticity, which we need to study. Now we would be thinking about the reasons also why elasticity is more important. Okay. So before I start with elasticity in greater details, friends, yeah, friends, I was talking about which one is more elastic, whether steel or rubber. So in subsequent sessions, you will come to know about which one is more elastic, steel or rubber. Ideally, steel is more elastic, and that's what we need to study. How steel is more elastic than rubber. Let's proceed then. When we talk about elasticity, there are certain basic things which we need to take into consideration. Okay. So first thing is why elasticity is required. This is something which we need to know before we study elasticity. So basically, when we talk about elasticity, there are day-to-day life uses for elasticity. Normally, say for example, we see a train say passing on a bridge. Very often, that's the thing which we keep on saying, and it sets up vibration in the bridge. The important thing is that bridge has to be designed for that vibration. The bridge will be made up of steel rods, and obviously, it has it possesses a property called as elasticity. Now, if the bridge is not elastic, then what will happen? You can see the train passing over a bridge. If the bridge is not elastic in nature, it won't be able to, bear these vibrations, and which may lead to the failure of the bridge. All right. So in design of a bridge, also, we need to take into consideration, the design of steel rods, where elasticity turns out to be an important property. So when we talk about elasticity, then let's talk about what forces would do to the body. When force is applied to a body, what can happen? Okay, so there are two possibilities. First, either the state of the body will change. That means the state of rest will become state of motion, or vice versa, if the force is applied. And the second effect, here you can see, you are applying force to the body, it's at rest, and suddenly it starts moving. So state of rest becomes state of motion, and vice versa also. When you apply brakes to the body, okay, it comes to rest. This is one thing which happens. Second thing is the shape or size can change. So if you keep on stretching a rubber band, you can see it changes the shape and size. All right, so here also you can have a look at it. You keep on applying force, the shape and the size changes. So whenever the shape or size will change, okay, we will call that phenomena as deformation. So here onwards, whenever we come across this word deformation, it indicates that the size or the shape has changed. Okay, and the force which is creating or you know bringing that deformation into existence, we will call it as deforming force. Right. So two things can happen when force is applied. Once the shape and the size can change, or the state of the motion can change. Either it will be at rest and rest becomes motion, or motion will become rest. So here also you can see, every time in a day-to-day life, we would come across the concept of elasticity. These pictures show you the same thing. So here we are going to mainly deal with, the change in shape and size, or specifically deformation when we talk about elasticity. Hopefully you have noted this down. So let's proceed further. So let's talk in terms of deformation then. Basis of that, all solid bodies, okay, they can be broadly classified. Okay.
Sir, can you show the last slide for 1 minute?
Yeah, I'll get back to the things. Okay, I'll come back to the same thing after the discussion. Okay. So when we talk about the bodies, basically there are two types of bodies. One is rigid and other is non-rigid. Okay. Now, what is a rigid body? On the basis of deformation, if I apply force to a rigid body, you can see it won't get deformed at all. Whereas non-rigid bodies, they will get deformed. And then non-rigid bodies, they will be further classified as elastic and plastic. All right, friends. So we would be talking about these definitions in greater detail subsequently. When we talk about definitions, let's talk about non-rigid body. So non-rigid body is a body whose shape and size will change if large force is applied. Example for non-rigid body can be rubber, steel, iron. Okay, so these are all non-rigid bodies. You can see. All right. When we talk about rigid body, whenever the high force is applied, there won't be any change in the shape and size. So such body we will call it as rigid body. So for example, diamond or steel spear. I'm saying steel spear. I'm not saying steel rod. Steel rod may consider be elastic. Steel spear would be considered as a rigid body. But having said that, no body in the universe is completely rigid. Okay, so there is a note at the bottom. So no body is rigid. But for practical purposes, we assume diamond or steel to be a rigid body. So when we define elasticity, elasticity is a property of a material by virtue of which you can say the body will regain its original shape, size, or dimensions when the deforming forces are removed. So whenever you apply deforming forces, they will get deformed. And whenever you remove deforming forces, they will set back to their original positions. So such bodies we will call it as elasticity. Such property is called as elasticity, and the body which exhibits such property we will call it as elastic body. All right. So example for elastic body, a rubber band can be considered as an elastic body. You apply deforming force, it gets deformed. The moment you remove it, it will come back to its original position. Please make a note of it before we move ahead. So the next property in non-rigid body is plasticity. Now, what is plasticity? So whenever you apply deforming forces, the body will get deformed. But when you remove the deforming forces, it won't regain its original shape and size. So that property is called as plasticity, and the body which exhibits plasticity, we will call it as plastic body. All right. So a body which does not regain its original shape and size when the deforming forces are removed will be considered as plastic body. And for example, you can consider the examples of clay, dough. Okay, you can see you press them, it will change. But then when you remove the applying forces, they are not going to return back to their original positions. So after understanding the concept of plasticity, we will move ahead. Why towards a concept? Why elastic body will be behaving like an elastic body, and why plastic body won't behave like an elastic body? So the important cause is this internal restoring force. Now, what is this internal restoring force? So whenever you apply external forces to body, it gets deformed. So there is exactly equal and opposite force to this deforming force, and this force restores the body back to its original position. We call this force as internal restoring force. Okay? So normally, if you talk about the direction of internal restoring force, it will be exactly opposite to the applied force. But when we talk about the magnitudes would be same. All right. So here you can see there are some forces which are responsible. There are some forces which are responsible, for a body to restore it back to its original form. when the applied forces or the deforming forces are removed. Such forces we will consider them as internal restoring force. Here in the animation you can see, the hand is being pressed on the sponge. So the deformation is getting regained. Why? Because the hand is applying deforming force, but exactly opposite force is being generated in the body. So you can see DF stands for deforming force. Okay, the yellow arrow. But when I talk about the restoring force, there is exactly opposite internal restoring force generated, which is bringing the dimensions of the body back to its original format. And that's why elastic bodies, they will behave like an elastic body. Let's move ahead then. So here also you can see when a person is sitting on a bean bag or a sofa, applying deforming force and therefore it gets deformed. But when the person gets up, internal restoring forces will ensure that the body regains its original dimension and the body behaves like an elastic body. So then let's bifurcate or let's distinguish between elastic body and a plastic body then. So elastic body, the definition is, you can see the body will regain its original dimensions when the external forces are removed. Whereas when we talk about plastic body, it won't be able to regain its original dimensions when the external forces are removed. Here, internal restoring forces are produced, therefore, it will behave like an elastic body. Whereas internal restoring forces are not produced in plastic body. Therefore, plastic body will never behave like an elastic body. Here, the deformation is temporary, but when we talk about plastic body, the deformation is permanent. So here, large force is required for the deformation. If you want to bend a steel, you can see. But when it comes to changing the shape of a dove or a clay, so it's very small forces are also sufficient for deforming it. Example, here you can see rubber, clay, dove.